call. Ms. Laura Cobb.
Here.
Emmett Owens. Mr. Hendricks.
Here.
And Mr. Hill.
Here.
We have a quorum, 3 commissioners. This time, we'll pledge allegiance to the flag, and Ms. Cobb, will you lead us in a prayer? Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, thank you for having us here tonight. Just guide us and lead us to make godly decisions, Father. I want to thank you for the many blessings that you have given us, Father. Father, I pray for our nation, that we'll be a strong nation. Just be with those that have come tonight and take them back home safely. We'll be with the seniors tonight that are going forth to their new future, Father. Just be with them and guide them. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Before we get to our comments, our speakers this evening, there were about 4 issues that we need to add to the agenda that I'd like for you guys to consider voting on. And I know that there was a consent agenda that went out. I think everybody signed everything, but I think Mr. Hill has Ms. Rakita Wilson is interested in serving on the DHR board. If y'all would put this also on new business, we can put that as C.
Well, you've got A through E on the agenda.
Oh, I apologize. I was looking at the 911. Thank you.
And if you want to make it easy, Mr. Chairman, this list of the 3 items that have been passed out, you could start it with F, G,
Okay.
H, and make the DHR card I.
All right. So, all you have a document in front of you there. Whereas having received notification from the state of Alabama Alcoholic Beverage Control Board and alcohol license being requested, located at Williams Country Crossing on County Road 49. Whereas the application received by the board appears to be in order. And then another resolution whereas Green County Commission has asked to approve all purchase orders over $10,000, and we have one is for Harvey Auto Sales for F-450 pickup with a dump body of $12,500, and so H would be I need voters list publication approved for $13,600, which would come out of the election budget. And then I would be adding Rakita Wilson as a DHR board. So if I could get a resolution on blanket on those 4 to add it to the agenda. All 4 items, yes. Second. Ms. Cobb makes motion. Mr. Hendricks seconds. All in favor of adding it, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Glad today to have Ms. Stephanie Key, who is Director of Community Action Agency, which involves 5 counties. I think I explained to you earlier in a meeting that Calhoun and Cleveland were one county when I first came into office over 20 years ago. There was a bit of some sort of controversy and trouble that happened, and Talladega, Randolph, and Clay, and they came and absorbed Calhoun and Cleveland into their community action. I have served on this board. I served on this board after Pete Jackson. Some of y'all might remember Pete Jackson, former commissioner who served on this board. And I chaired this board for approximately about 3 years before, after I finished, I had decided that it was time for me to go. The county commission in the past had always tried to help and be a part of community action by giving them space in the Harts building and giving them an office space and not giving them anything. And the building by the Baptist Church, First Baptist Church, which is given to Harts. I think since that time they have moved out of that and have a building right there on Main Street, a location there now. But who was first director when I first came in?
Was it Mr. Sims?
Mr. Sims, and then Mr. Cleveland, and you're the third director in the last 20 years. How long have you been director now?
Since 16.
16. Okay. And Mr. Warren, you're the current chairman. Mr. Warren also works for JSU. He's an administrator for JSU. Right? And good to have you. Thank y'all for coming. And do you have anything you want to present? And then they may have some questions for you.
Okay, I think you received the email. Did you get a chance to send that out to
I did.
everyone?
I did. I don't know how many had a chance to look at it today. Mr. Hendrickson, I think you said you were able to get a copy of it.
You said I did this time?
I haven't got to see it.
Okay.
On the road.
You got one? How do you have those?
Who else is there?
Do you or Mr. Warren want to speak or say anything to the commission about your organization and what you do and your location and what some of the things you serve?
Okay, sure. I do apologize that everyone did not get the opportunity to look over the email. And what you have, for those of you that did and were able to print it out, or if you have the copy in front of you, it shows some of our grants, some of the biggest grants, which is CSBG, which is Community Service Block Grant, as well as the LAHI program, which is Low Income Housing and Energy Assistance Program. You have both of those copies in front of you for Cleveland County. It gives you a breakdown of how many customers have been assisted in Cleveland County. It has the dates up at the top. The CSBG, it is from October 1st, 2020 until 5/4/2022. It shows that the total assistance that has been done is for regular CSB, well, let me go back to the top, where it says CARES. The total for fiscal year 21, we have spent $25,271.44 in Cleveland County, and we have assisted 53 customers. That's under the CARES program. And then under fiscal year 2022, it gives you a total of $27,869.36 with a total assistance of 91 awards. And then for the grand total of $53,140.80, assisting 144 customers in Cleveland County. And that's only under the Community Service Block Grant portion. Also, I made a note down at the bottom. It says the CSBG CARES grant, it ends on 9/30/22. The remaining balance for Cleveland County is $26,607.39. For the fiscal year 2022, we have only received half of that grant because the federal government has not fully awarded the entire grant to the state or to any other state for that matter. So we are waiting for the full grant to be approved. So all that was allocated right now, and this was only a portion, was $20,168 was allocated to Cleveland County, and the remaining balance is $4,798.01. And give or take, that's whether or not any customers have been assisted since the 5/4/2022 date that this was printed out. So it kind of gives you an idea of the funds that have been distributed among the customers here in Cleveland County. The number of households that has been assisted, that's where it says total awards to date, that's the number of households. So that means 53 households were assisted from 10/20/20 to 9/30/21 up at the top, with the amount stated that has been spent in Cleveland County. Now, I don't want to go too fast if you all have any questions. We can move over to the LIHEAP portion for Cleveland County.
Explain to them what LIHEAP.
That's the Low Income Housing Energy Assistance Program. That's where their utilities, which both programs are able to assist in utilities. LIHEAP is our main program that pays if we have different seasons. We have the heating season, we have the cooling season. So it's primarily however you heat your home or however you cool your home. That's what the LIHEAP portion does. With CSBG, it's a little bit different. If you would notice, you saw direct services, emergency services, food vouchers. We can do a little bit more with that, but the guidelines are a little stricter with CSBG funds as opposed to the LIHEAP funds. Both of these grants come from ADECA. And also at the bottom, let me just point out too, we also have a weatherization program where it does minor repairs on homes. Cleveland County, and this is sponsored through ADECA as well, it's through the Department of Energy and through what the program is called LIWAP, which is Low Income for Weatherization Assistance Program. That's LIWAP. For Cleveland County, and there is a breakdown at the bottom. Cleveland County, one home was assessed and completed in 2020. One home was assessed and completed in the fiscal year 2021. And then the home for 2022, it hasn't been determined yet because we're just now getting ready to start on that grant. So, and the numbers let you know how much was actually spent on that home. So as you see, the home in 2021, it needed a little more work than the home that was done in 2020. And Cleveland County is only allotted for one home. And of course, that's based off of the percentage of poverty and the population. And we don't determine that. That is included in the grant once we get it from ADECA. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
The dollar amount, the total, is that all the money that's allocated to our county?
For which part?
The 25,271, was that the total amount that was awarded to our county?
On the CARES part.
In other
Or the
words,
CARES.
is that the percentage that we received?
Your balance, which I did at the bottom, is, and the CARES, let me explain CARES, I'm sorry. The CARES grant started in 2020, and it runs until the end of September of this year. So it's been a 2-year grant. That was due to the COVID, the coronavirus release, and I want to make sure I give you the correct dates, okay? Okay, so CSBG CARES, the total of the grant was $1,020,566. It's a 2-year grant. It ends on 9/30/22. Cleveland County was awarded $54,726. That's where the balance of the $26,000 comes from. So that's how much Cleveland County has left under the CARES grant.
How do they figure all that?
With CSBG, it comes from the state and the grant. It already gives us the amount per county.
But is that population or
Yes.
thousand?
It's based off the percentage of poverty and the population. And then whenever the census is done, all of that is taken in consideration before we ever get the grants.
So all that information comes off the census, so it only gets updated every 10 years?
No, I said a portion of that. Not every, because the census isn't done every year, so, but some of that information is taken from there, so those numbers may fluctuate.
So the 26,000 is what's left for the.
Yes, ma'am. The 26,000 is what's left in Cleveland County, and that must be spent by September the 30th of this year. Everything has to be turned back in. So if it's not, then the flexibility of the grants per county, because we're already allocated through the 5 counties. So, and I think one of the concerns was whether or not Cleveland County was spending all of their money. If we're getting to the end of the grant year and then a particular county is having trouble spending the money, then we have the flexibility of getting approval from ADECA to move that money to a county that will spend it or is in need of other assistance.
The days that y'all are in Cleveland County,
Mhm.
what days?
On Thursdays, but really, that's only a body. They're able to speak to someone every day because the number goes to 3 different people. So whenever they call, they get someone.
But there's somebody at the Cleveland, at the Heflin office
Mhm.
on Thursday.
That's in case someone cannot upload the documentation, or they need to get a particular form, or take something to the doctor's office to get it filled out and bring back in.
I know sometimes they don't understand, and they need a live person sitting down in front of them. And that's why I was asking, Thursdays, at what time are y'all in the office?
From 8 until 4:30.
8 to 4:30?
And of course, you all know we did an advertisement for a position over here in Cleveland County. So that's probably posted on the door if any of you have gone by there to see it.
I think, a lot of it, I get calls, and a lot of them is they don't understand how to do the paperwork, and that's why I was asking the days that you're there, that they can just go to the office and get help on filling out the paperwork.
From people who are not familiar with the process, or?
Different, or some that may have not got the paperwork in time, or getting different response. So, that's the reason I said, well, maybe you just need to go to the office and sit down with someone and talk directly to them.
Well, yeah, and I mean, just like with any of the offices, we ask that everyone call, because you don't want 10 people in a small office space at one time, and that's just to kind of
Yeah.
still
But
maintain
sometimes I
distance.
have a hard time getting through, because I know, I've had a hard time,
Mhm.
people, I think I've had to call you on the personal phone. And
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, I think they're having a hard time getting through and not getting response back. I'm hearing a lot of that,
okay.
just.
Because, now the names that you gave me, we followed up with them,
Yes.
and 2 of them had never even filled out paperwork or been to the office or anything, and one of the other ones was, she wanted to use her 2021 income, but unfortunately, we were in 2022, and she refused to go to the Social Security office to get the new one, but we tried to explain to her, we couldn't assist her with the old income, so.
And they usually get one.
They get it in the mail,
November,
yeah,
get their new ones.
yeah, they get it in the mail, so I'm not really sure.
And
What
sometimes,
happened with that?
and I'm sure you deal with it, sometimes, they don't understand. You get them, and they really do not. And
Yeah.
you can explain to them all day long, but sometimes you just have to read on it, it's a learning process.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, because our goal is to assist as many people as we can, and to assist as many new customers as we can. So,
You don't have a website?
we had one where it's actually now being restored. He's almost through. We had some changes with, staff turnover, so we're trying to update everything. But I would be more than glad to send that to Judge in an email so you all can go there and look at it.
I guess my question is, how do we know what Cleveland County's portion of this, and how can we find out in time to get people to apply?
What do you mean by in time? Whenever, because we assist people on a daily basis. The only difference is if the season has changed and they received help, let's say with the LIHEAP program, we're finishing up with the heating season. So June 1st starts the cooling season in LIHEAP. So if a customer got assistance in the heating season, then, and let's say they got it on the regular LIHEAP, they got it on the Crisis LIHEAP, they got it on the LIHEAP Care, so there's nothing else for them to get assistance on, then they have to wait until June 1st till the cooling season start, and it's like the process starts all over again. Then they're able to come in and get assistance.
I understand that. My
Okay.
question is, okay, say this program starts on June 1st. Okay, where can I go to, or who can I talk to see how many dollars is allocated for that for Cleveland County?
You're not gonna see what's
coming through
allocated
our
because it comes through the office. ADEPA sends that goes into the system.
Post
And
anywhere
then-
or anything?
We only post when we start doing applications, whenever the seasons change. You're posting a dollar amount. We've had people call all the time when the governor says that Talladega County received $2 million, then we get all of these phone calls and we get called all these names because people think we actually got $2 million at one time, and that's not how it works. It's allocated out between all of the counties, and that's only done in portions. We never get the full amount at one time. So it would be whatever is sent.
And ADECA like lays those out for us. That's what-
So like June 1st, would you get something saying how much is allocated to each county for your cooling program for the year?
With
You
the
would get that
LIHEAP.
at that time? I think that's-
Well,
Okay.
let me stop you right there, though. I don't wanna contradict what you're saying. As I stated before, CSBG is the only one that breaks down by the counties. That comes from them. The LIHEAP program used to do that. It doesn't. It's based off of the percentage of poverty and the population. In Cleveland County right now, even with the LIHEAP program, there is between 8% to 17% that they would get of that total budget. And that's based off of the need. So let's say we gave Cleveland County on the high end, 17% of the $2.2 million budget that we got in LIHEAP. And nobody comes in, nobody calls, maybe one person in 2 weeks, maybe 5 people in 3 weeks. So there's almost the lack of need, if you will, for the lack of a better word, that people come to get help. So if the county is struggling and then Calhoun County has already run out of funds because people are coming in getting assistance, then we can transfer funds from Cleveland County to Calhoun County to make sure that those customers are assisted.
Okay.
I guess that's the question, because I know dealing, my area is in a property area. I think we all have that, and we should have plenty of people applying for this. But I do not feel like everybody knows about the program. And I guess it's our responsibility to get the information out to our needed people that this program is there. I don't feel like that we should, what money's allocated to Cleveland County should be taken and put into another county when we do. I know we have a need for it in our county.
See, that was sort of my question. If on June first, you got $50,000 for Cleveland County, how can we get that figure so we can get it out to our people saying, hey, there's money there for this or money there for that?
The only thing that we can do is to advertise that we will start doing cooling appointments on June first. We're not gonna put, we have $50,000 for them to come in. It's gonna say,
You want to provide that to the commission?
I'm
I
sorry,
mean, we should be able to see any of that.
I think the commission should be aware that if you guys want to help marketing and help us to get the word out, I think
right,
just just knowing, hey, look, come and apply, money's there. Because once the money runs out, then, you know, they have to wait until that next cycle. So I think that, yeah, I think from a standpoint, that's one of the keys one of the things that we're challenging Ms. Keith and the organization is to, how can we become more marketable over here? Why is it such a, why is the agency seen in such a negative light here, as opposed to in other
If you can
locations?
get the dollar amount to the commission, we will get the word out. But I don't understand what the deal is on the dollar amount.
it's no deal on the dollar amount, but I guess my question is, what difference is it whether or not the people come in to get assistance? Because the goal is to get them to get assistance, correct?
Well, if you're giving roughly $50 to each person, then that means we got X number of people we need to get out in the community and get signed up. And if you only got $1,000 instead of $50,000 or $25,000, then it's not use wasting a whole lot of time on us to try to get out there and talk to people.
Correct, but their bills will vary, because it may be someone that come in with
I
a bill
understand
that's
that.
$300.
I would like to know how much money you got to start with for Cleveland County. And I just want to know how to find that out.
Okay.
I mean, if y'all can get your website up and going, looks
It
like
won't
to
give
me-
a dollar amount, it'll just say
It should.
that we have funds
It
available.
should. I mean, what we have here is, you know, we got $1.2 million for road projects. It gets run in the paper, it gets put on our website.
Is there,
Well,
is there a site through ADECA that points it out, how much?
Well, whenever the governor makes her announcement, but I repeat once again, she'll say Talladega County or Talladega Community Action received $2.2 million. So that $2.2 million is what's being said, but then at that time, nothing has been broken down by the counties.
Okay,
So,
you say that, if nobody applies, how long does it take for an application to go through the process?
if they have everything, 10 minutes.
Okay, so when you get down to 1 week and we still got money in there, who do you notify?
There's several people who have come to the office that have gone back to help, maybe, let's say, the people in the apartment complex, the other people around here who may need assistance.
I mean, I think if you could get the commission involved, it would help everybody.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
the concept.
we're, you know, like, because we deal with our senior citizen centers, and I've dealt with, you know, I have senior citizens that they struggle to buy gas. They have no clue that they could go to community action and get their funds to buy their gas. They're struggling.
Propane gas, no car gas.
Propane gas.
Correct, we don't do car gas, it's
No,
propane
I'm
gas.
talking
Okay.
about for their house, for heating
Right.
their home, you know. And then I also have, you know, residents out there that are having trouble cooling. But my senior citizen center, and I know yours too, that's, to me, one of the best way to get out to our elderly people.
Right. Now, in Talladega, I have gone to the senior citizens centers, some of the other places where the elderly are, or where they have lunch, and talked to them, and we even set up and did applications right there. We would let them know when they were coming, and everything is processed right there.
I feel like we have that need, even because I see them struggling, and I'm like, we shouldn't have
Right.
to struggle. And we have funds through this county that should be able to take care of these
You
issues.
do. We do. We even tried, what's the place of the center where we looked at one time for an office space? The Arts Building? Is it the Arts
Oh,
Building?
Heaven
or
Art
something?
Building?
Yeah. We had a mass intake up there for a day, and we put up flyers, we notified as many people as we possibly could, and we ended up having, I think it was 11 people that came through.
See,
So,
my problem is, see, Rember's 25 miles from here. And if they don't know anything about it, then they don't get involved. And if you can get the commission involved and I know about it, then I can go to the senior citizens, which I go down there, you know, usually once or twice a week. I can get the word out that there's money for it.
so we can put a flyer up in the senior citizen
Yes,
center?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If you'll get me the
I
flyer,
would
I'll
love
put
to
it.
do that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to do that.
So I think that if we can somehow look at marrying up the networks and the collaborations, all involved, I think it would make for a much smoother process. I know that the commission helps us over in Anniston, and we've got support by all the other commissions. I think, you know, for me, as I see this, because it's all about helping those that are in need, right? In each county. And that's what we're gonna do to the best of our ability. But I think there are times that we should be looking at intake even when money's gone, so that those people can roll right into it when the money's there, if you follow what I'm saying. So I think that, you know, that would cause for some additional support, also from the commission. You know, we get, like I said, other dollars from other commissions. I think if there's a way when money's low, if this county is really pushing the envelope and trying to get everybody that's in need the support and the help that they need by coming to the office, I think that this agency is looking at that as well and saying, how can we open? How can we stay open more days? How can we, you know, open the doors to be able to meet the needs of this county?
See, at Ranford, we've got our hearts, we've got a center that passes out food, what, twice a month, I think. And then we have the senior citizens. So if you can get me some literature, get me some flyers, or email them to me, so I can get my folks involved, because if we give money to another county, I just don't think that's right.
We should be, I feel like we have the need in our county where that money should be used up in our county.
I agree. I mean, I live here too, so I agree.
And like I said, it does not be shifted to another county, because I know we have the need. And especially, like I said, I feel like some of our elderly people are getting left out because they have no clue at how this program works. And the thing about this too is they will have to have someone to sit down with them. They're not gonna get on the telephone.
Right.
They're not gonna do that. They've got to have that contact with a person. So that's what
And we
y'all
would
do.
love to come to the senior center and maybe schedule a day where we can come, get you the information that's needed for them, and then come over and just do the applications there and see if they qualify. And then it takes 10 minutes. So once the application goes, because they're gonna enter everything into the software, and it's processed then. So if they qualify, they're notified right then. If it's through Alabama Power, it may be, you know, someone else, but each organization, each 501c3 that receives funds from Alabama Power, you have a portal with Alabama Power, so your organization, and whoever else may have a portal as well. So we go in and see how much is needed to pay to keep that person current. But the key is they must have a bill, because sometimes we get senior citizens, as soon as their bill comes out, they run and pay the bill, and then they come down to us and want us to reimburse them, and unfortunately, we can't do that. So they must have a bill for us to pay. But I would love for us to come to some of your seniors
For
centers.
them to have the knowledge, especially like the window replacement, things like that. I see so many areas that this could be used.
Yeah, now, let me talk about weatherization since you mentioned that. Weatherization is not an instant program. We have had people on the waiting list for up to 4 to 5 years. And it's only because there's only so many homes that are allocated for each county. And you have triple the number of people that need the assistance. So Cleveland County is, the number of units that Cleveland County gets is 1. So it could possibly be 15 people on the waiting list for Cleveland County. So, and then those points, everything is generated through DOE with that, so. But I like to tell people that because they think it's just like getting your utilities paid when they come in, do the weatherization application, that the contractor is gonna come out to your home the next week, but that's not that type of program. It's not a process where it's turned around within a couple of weeks.
We have a lot of people on Cleveland County.
Cleveland County, I think the last time we ran the report, I think it was 24.
How can I get a pamphlet, a book, an email, a
I'm gonna get
website
everything to you tomorrow.
to let us know how you qualify?
Okay.
Let us know what you need to fill out the paperwork. I mean, what you need, whatever paperwork you need.
Yeah.
And some kind of dates.
Yeah, I will have everything to you tomorrow. Was that?
Could you just send it to the commission as a whole?
I'll get you that. You send it to me, I'll make sure you get it to me.
Okay.
But I'll
Yes,
also-
I'm sorry.
Sure.
And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, I'm just trying to figure out,
That's fine. I want to answer as many questions as I can.
for instance, on the Lockheed, you said that if the county did not have the need, that it would be turned over to say Calhoun County who had more need. What's the timing of that? I know you said like the cooling cycle, the heating cycle. How does that, I know it starts in June. At what point do you say Cleveland County's obviously not gonna use all their money, we're gonna have to turn it over to another county?
Only if we see where money is going back to a debtor, because as you all know, people frown when you send grant money back. So
Yes.
to
So
keep
you
from
have a
sending,
deadline that money has to be used
Right.
by.
correct.
How far in advance of that do you say Cleveland County's not gonna use their money or passing on?
Probably the last 3 weeks.
Okay, so just.
Just
a
time
short
enough to-
period of time there.
It's not long, because we have to get everything submitted, all the checks have to be cut, everything has to be
By
done.
that deadline,
Correct.
And
So we don't do that
That
unless,
season is from June 1.
June to what?
that's the cooling season starts June 1st. And it'll run all the way until, let's see, let me think of when the heating season starts. The heating season starts December 1st. So you have cooling all the way up until then. And then we start over with the heating season.
But you're gonna send us a calendar of how.
I'll see, yes, sir.
So
I'll
what
get everything to
I'm
you.
wondering on that front is, say it comes November the 1st, you've got 2 months left.
Mhm.
Say October 1st, you've got 2 months left to spend the rest of the money for Cleveland County for that cycle. If these guys know, hey, we've still got, $24,000 left of our light heat money, we can get out and start getting bushes, people they know.
We're gonna knock on doors,
People they
that's
know.
what we need to
To
do.
be honest,
We can get that,
it
try
has
to
a-
take care of it.
it has an income base. Actually, what's the income minimum, this kid?
I did not bring that with me, but it's the poverty guideline. So, yeah. Well, correct, but with us, we have, the light heat does 125%, and then CSBG and weatherization is 200%. So our numbers are a little bit different, but the amount that the poverty guideline has is correct, is what we go by. We just have different things to go by. Light heat is 125%, CSBG and weatherization is 200% of that.
Some of them have age requirements as well.
Yeah, well, and with some programs, but I'll make sure I get that with you and explain everything to you. Some programs that we may be able to do, it's only for people who are 60 and over.
Yeah, it's age requirements.
Let me throw a hypothetical out there.
Okay.
If I got a lady that draws nothing but Social Security, she's retired, 70 years old,
Mhm.
she's drawing $12,000 a year. Okay, so she qualifies for all these programs, right?
She should, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, if that's the case, then we got a ton of folks that qualifies for that. They just need to know about it.
And would they do the application? Would they go through the process? Would know
The
about it?
whole thing is gonna be, if there's somebody's in the office to help them. they're not gonna do the phone. Now, and then I think a lot of times, I've been told that they don't get a response back. When they call and leave a message, it may be several days before they get.
Yeah, well, we heard one of the recordings.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
But
we just need, and I guess the key thing is to build it up enough where there's somebody at that office to help someone more than one day a week.
Yeah, we're working.
Yeah, and for, there to be someone coming in to get help, but I would be more than glad to get you everything. We actually have a food provider in Raymond, that's under our child nutrition program.
I
So,
mean, what I'm saying is, we got the senior citizens here, we got the organization that hands out food, and, I mean, everybody comes right there to that area at least once or twice a month, or the senior citizens 5 days a week.
okay,
So if I know you've got $50,000 that you're giving out.
okay.
we-
So can we come to your senior center,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
you rather just do it yourself?
I welcome you. to
We
come.
get the word out and the directors
Yeah.
call them, they would invite them to come and speak, just like this right here. Even the
I'll-
city, even to each of the cities, and,
Yeah.
I would love to see, you guys at our center.
I would love to.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
We would do that. We used to before, prior to COVID, we did mass intake at all of our counties, and in some counties it worked extremely well. So we would be glad to come and try and bridge that to make this a smoother transition of assisting the people. I don't want the money to go to another county either, nor do I want the money to go back to Odessa. Because they may say, okay, well, you all aren't spending your money, so this year, let's not give you as much as we gave you the last time. So I think the partnership would be great. And I look forward to working with you on that and making sure we get the people in.
meeting times. You meet, once a quarter or once a month?
For board,
Or
Yes.
we meet every other
every
week.
other month.
Every other month.
Mhm.
And you meet usually at the central office in
Yes.
Talladega.
Mhm.
And y'all advertise that with the Secretary of State, what
Mhm.
times the meetings are gonna be, right? That's on
Correct,
the Secretary of State side.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
And Cleveland County right now doesn't have anyone on the board, do they?
Yes.
yes.
Who's on the board?
Yes, sir.
We have Rhonda Hurd, and we have Ms. Cooley, and we're looking for a private sector. I'm not sure whether or not y'all know how the board works, but each county, there's 3 sectors. We have the low-income sector, the private sector, and then the public sector. So the public sector, of course, is your elected official. That's Rhonda Hurd. She's city council, right, and she's city council.
I thought she was appointed in a different way. I thought she,
Mm-mm.
oh, y'all
She-
changed
yeah,
that?
We did that when she come in for that, so,
Okay.
but that was a year or 2 years ago.
Okay.
So she represents the public sector, we have someone representing the low-income sector, and they've already interviewed some people for the private sector for over here.
So Miss Cooley, you said?
She's the low-income sector.
You know, her first name?
Carol,
Carol Cooley.
Mhm.
Okay.
Carol Cogill now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
talking
Used to work with, retired from the insurance.
Yeah.
With,
State Farm.
State Tech.
Yeah,
Then she lives in Chillicothe.
yeah.
Very nice lady.
Okay, I got one last question.
Okay.
We get audited every year. Do y'all get audited by the state? Or does anybody audit y'all?
Yes,
Yes, we do.
yes.
Is that posted on, you don't have a website, where is that posted?
Yes, well, it's posted on GuideStar and wherever else it's supposed to
Can you
be
email me
posted,
that
but
too?
I can.
Okay,
I should
thank
be
you.
not more than glad to.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Mr. Warren, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I just, just like to say briefly, since taking over your spot as the board chair, I think our board has been very active. I think our committees have been working. We got a bylaws committee, we have an audit committee, and we have an executive committee. I think we've been addressing the issues. I think we've had some anonymous letters that have surfaced. We researched those, we've gone through it, we interviewed everybody that we felt like needed to be interviewed. We talked to Catalog. I think Ms. Keith and the things that she's doing. We've gone through everything with a fine tooth comb. We feel like, you know, that we're doing things the legal way. There's nothing that we've done that's been done in a selfish intent. I think this board has always been wanting to challenge Ms. Keith to be able to make sure that we're serving the people in the counties that we're located in. So I think that, you know, anytime that we can somehow look at ways that we can better our services, then that's the challenge. You know, man sharpens man, iron sharpens iron, right? So we want to make sure we're doing the things the right way. And but like I said, you know, as I challenge Ms. Keith, I think for us, we want to make sure money's gone, that we can still continue to provide some type of intake service, that we can continue to address the needs of the community, the needs of the people. Whether the county, Randolph, all of this, we want to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. And, you know, like I said, that's been my goal ever since I've been the chair, and I've been here for going on 4 years, so it feels like.
Yeah, I think I left before
And,
COVID.
yeah, so it hasn't been always easy, but we made it through. So,
Well, I mean, I apologize if y'all think I'm threatening somebody. This is just the way I do business.
yeah, I'm transparent as
I
well.
want to see something.
Yeah, I think we want the same thing. Like,
We just want to be able to make sure that the money stays in with our people, and see what we have a need.
Absolutely. Well, and
Ensure that
sometimes,
they,
And we want to work with you.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is to help the people, and I think the key is for us is just to make sure.
You want the folder or you just
Sometimes,
want
you
the
know, I
paper?
don't know
You want the
if
folder or
people
you just
see,
want the
you know,
paper?
people in the office, you know, I want people to be able to come into the office as well, more than just one day. So we work through some of those things too. I think, you know, if it's gonna be a win-win for all of you guys getting the information and sending people our way, and, you know, like I said, there are criteria, right? So some people may not meet the criteria. But
If you can get us that information, though, we will help you.
to achieve that, absolutely.
I'll have everything to you tomorrow.
Let me ask you one other question. All your funding, the majority of it comes from ADEC, right?
Yes.
Any other funding, I know you get some other from other counties, cities, any other funding, y'all have fundraisers, we had a fundraiser before I left, it wasn't much, but we were trying to do, did y'all have any fundraisers coming up, where you try to get everybody to come out and support your fundraiser?
Not like we did in that regard, but we have been looking at ways, and we've been challenging our city clubs. We've been looking at ways that we can get in, you know, county commission's budget. We've been looking at ways that we can get in, you know, some of the city clubs around town. Ms. Keith has been going to, she went to Rotary Club with me, and so we've been looking at ways that we can kind of, we've been able to get some grant monies through what's the group now?
ABC Trust
ABC
and
Trust.
Community.
Community Foundation.
Mhm.
Community Foundation in Addison. These are things that help us in areas where a deck of monies won't allow us to spend, right? That help us to be able to offset, you know, other expenses. You know, we've had people that have asked for help that may have gotten help too many times and they're still in need. So as long as they can meet the criteria, we're looking at ways to serve the community. And that's, transparent as we can possibly be. That's an open book, right? So, but having said that, you know, I think, you know, we're happy to come. I told Ms. Keith I would love to come and spend a few minutes with you. If you have some questions about our board, about the way we conduct business, you know, it's all within the framework that is asking us to, and the governing body that I represent as the board chair.
What's your required amount for board members now? How many board members do you have?
15,
15.
that's 3 from each county,
Three? Okay.
from the 3
Now,
sectors
to
that
have
are.
a quorum, you have to have how many?
8.
8.
8.
Yeah.
So, now when I was there, we lowered it, so.
Yeah, correct,
Let's go
and
back
that
there.
was why. No.
Okay.
Remember, we went from 18 to 15,
Okay.
because we had an issue at that time.
Yeah, we had a hard time
meeting the
getting
quorum.
quorum.
Yeah, we had a hard time getting the quorum. We were always at least one short at every meeting, so, we got that approved, so we went from 18 to 15, which, requires 3 board members from each county. The low-income sector, the private sector, and the public sector. So.
Okay,
And anybody's welcome to come to the meetings too, it's open.
Yeah,
You used to have a reporter too, used to. So,
If you guys have any questions, we're here. Anything we can do to help to make this a smooth transition in a way that can help the student, the people here in Clayton County, we're here.
We appreciate y'all coming and answering questions.
The county administrator.
No, that's good, I like that, I like that.
Thank you. So, what's your name again? I just want, just for
I'm
verification.
Lisa Copeland, county administrator.
Okay, Lisa,
I'm Emily Williams, the commission clerk.
okay,
Terry Henry Commission.
and you represent which?
I represent District 3, which is Ranford.
Okay, okay. Now,
And I'm Laura Cobb, Commissioner for District One, which is from the city limits of Hebron all the way to Borden Springs.
okay, so,
Roger Hill, I represent District 4.
okay. And that
Which is Chief East.
That's not a district, yeah.
Hey, you
never
just
seen
lived
it
down the
before.
road from me.
Yeah, never seen it before.
Okay. Sir, what about you?
I'm county attorney.
Oh, I figured, you know, you had the time, I think I should have figured that out.
Whose house did you buy, you and your husband?
Oh Lord.
It was
I
Price?
live right across, no, Groves. I live right across the street from Scotty Price.
Okay.
You know Scotty Price?
My
DJ?
grandson knocked your mailbox over.
Ah, so you do live right behind me.
I live right there.
Yeah.
He didn't mean to.
He did.
Well, thank y'all for coming. Thank you so much.
All right.
Y'all have any questions?
I
Y'all
look
need
forward
anything?
to,
You know, you got- give me a call.
Just
Yeah.
forward it to the commission as a whole.
I will, I'll get with Judge and get everything, that I need, and I'll send you all everything, so you'll have. And then, we can kind of plan something maybe and go from there and set something up. After what we call the new monies come in for June 1st, and then start it off that way.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay?
Can you send me a calendar too of how that works? Like you get money on June 1st, you get money on November 1st?
Well, that's just,
Yeah.
that's just when we start. We may not actually get the money until maybe June 30th.
Okay, but
So-
what I'm saying is when you can
Right.
start to fill out an
No,
application.
Not really. They'll just tell us we can go ahead and start taking applications. We're working on the grants. So-
I'm not together.
Yeah. Yeah, so that be the email. But yes, sir, I'll be more than glad to do that for you, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Anything else?
Nice meeting you guys.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute pause and then we'll get back started. All right. Is everybody else ready now? Everybody else ready? No, don't miss this guy.
We'll stay.
Thank you. for coming.
No cook supper.
We'll go through supper.
It's just getting.
What's your name?
They were just getting done.
Steak and potatoes.
All right.
All right, we have no bid openings, awards and presentations, scheduled public hearings, consent agenda. Entertain a motion to,
I'll make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion.
I'll second.
okay, Ms. Cobb, Mr. Hendricks, all in favor saying aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. New business, ARPA fund division.
I'll make a motion that we.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, look, Terry said he was in a hurry.
We can take time to read it. Not that big of a
There
read.
is one correction that needs to be made on that item A, the amount of that says 455,000 is actually 452. This is a typo, $452,302.55, last sentence under A.
Okay.
452.
Whereas Cleveland County Commission has received ARPA funding in the amount of $2,896,093, and whereas the commission has agreed to spend a total of $86,882.79 for administrative costs to the IAC and $700,000 for water projects, and whereas the commission has been in ongoing discussions of possible expenditures of the remaining funds, whereas the commission agrees to put aside $300,000 for countywide projects that are still in the discussion stage. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cleveland County Commission agrees to divide the remaining portion of $1,809,210.21 to be spent equally for qualifying projects in each of the 4 districts of Cleveland County, amounting to $452,302.55 each.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second
Ms. Cobb, you made the first and Mr. Hendricks made the second. you mentioned that each of these qualify, and they have to come back before. Does that need to be changed in that?
That was gonna be my question there.
Who is the extra bid?
No,
Oh.
I'll give Laura the opinion. Is all this gonna come back for approval before?
Does that need a change in the resolution?
Do we need to spell that out?
Spell out which part.
That the projects need to come back to the commission for approval for the money you spend.
Like if Mr.
Well,
Hill,
we can, that's what y'all are doing with all of these projects, you could put that in there if you want. But that's why I added about qualifying projects. to make sure.
So that's sufficient.
So that-
okay, you good with that? Everybody's good with that? Qualifying, it has to qualify, I mean,
Which means it has to be approved both as appropriate ARPA funding as well as having the approval of the commission.
Sounds good.
we have a motion and a second. Yes, sir.
I personally would like to amend it to up the dollar amount that we set aside due to inflation and this economy that we're living in today.
Which part would you like to amend though?
This, the part we're gonna set aside,
The 300,000.
raise it to like 500,000.
How can you?
How can
You amend that? I mean, it is what it is, right? Money
you're
wise.
the chairman?
No, that's what I'm asking. I don't, there's no.
He said he wants to take it to 500,000 and cut the amount each one of us gets.
Right.
the district amount.
He's
Oh.
basically saying the put aside would become 500,000, and each district would be 402,
I see what you're saying.
365.
Okay. You wanna make it and take it out of the 300, instead of, you wanna amend the 300,000 to 500,000 for the countywide projects. Okay. Now, the way it follows, you made the original motion, right? No, are you, try it? Ms. Cobb, do you want to amend the budget to 500,000?
If Roger feels, that's fine with me. I mean, because either way, it's gonna come back to us for approval, and if it's not used, it goes back into the fund.
Okay, now, are you agreeing with that? He will not agree to that.
Well, the way I look at it, we're not getting enough money to make a major, to pay it for a major project within our district. You know, we can do little small things, which that's good, you know, but at the same time, we need to have money for the remaining part of the year, you know, the fiscal year.
Point taken, and I think everybody hears, she's willing to make the amendment, but he is not agreeing to it as a second. In this process here, the motion is still in place to approve it as it is. I don't know, I mean, can one of them, she would have to just back out of her motion if she backed out.
If she chose to, she could.
The motion is what it is. You made the original motion. He seconded it, okay? He asked you to amend and you vote to, but he has to approve as the second. That's the rules.
But, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if we come up with a project, everybody's still free to give money back. I mean, if somebody comes up with a project and it was $500,000, I mean, I can give 50,000 back. But I just don't want to put it in up front because I've already got a road project and I actually need more than that to do the road project.
We can live, you know, we can live with it. There's nothing really bad about it, but just because we've got money, we don't need to run out here and spend it, you know?
Well, we got a starting point, right?
Well,
We
we
got a
have,
starting point?
yeah, none of this has been, I mean, none of this is really set in stone as far as if the money's not used, it goes back to this project, but also, it's not set in stone, because it still has to it has to come back to the commission. Road project, whatever, has to be approved by the commission as a whole.
Okay. Or y'all ready to vote?
I agree.
Okay. Ready? All in favor say aye. We have a no. The ayes have it. So, it Did pass, okay. 2-1. New business, item B, whereas the Cleveland County Commission uses East Alabama Regional Planning and Development Commission for its grant writing, and whereas the commission is aware that the changes within East Alabama have caused issue within the organization leading to the deadline problems and potential missed opportunities. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Cleveland County Commission hereby agrees to seek an agreement with Community Consultants Incorporated to serve the county for grant writing purposes. Do I have a motion?
We have found out that community consultants was not technically new clients. We found that out just in the last couple of days.
Okay. So this dies for lack of, this dies. New business item C, whereas Cleveland County Commission desires that the engineer department implement vacation a portion of County Road 290, and whereas the commission understands that the procedures for doing so require a public hearing and notification of citizens affected by the vacation, therefore, be it resolved that the county commission directs the county engineer to advertise and schedule a public hearing to be held during the June 2022 regular scheduled commission meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Mr. Cobb,
I'll say.
Mr. Hendricks, any discussion? Whose district is that in?
That's mine.
You-
It's over there at Muscadine Church, going into the, what they call the Silverado Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we had all the legal dumping going on.
Yeah.
Mom's just, gave on.
You're not gonna get kicked, people like going out there, you're not gonna get kicked back on that, are you?
It's, they still can get to the church and have been on the other side, but all the dumping has been going on the Muscadine, on the, behind the church.
Y'all ready to vote? All in favor saying aye? Motion carries. New business item D, whereas Mr. Fred Cow spoke to the Cleveland County Commission about the possibility of allowing the use of an area below the County Road 18 bridge for the purpose of a primitive campground associated with the Alabama Scenic River Trail. And whereas the commission has received assurance that the campground would only be accessible by water, and whereas the commission has been advised by the county attorney that there are certain statutory protections contained in Chapter 15 of Title 35 of the Alabama Code addressing the duties of care owed by owners to persons and properties for recreational property that purposes that limit the potential liability for the landowner. And whereas in order to avail itself of the protections offered by the code, the county needs to post signs around the boundaries and entrance to the area being designated for such recreational use, and that is mentioned in that code section there. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cleveland County Commission directs the county engineer to ensure that appropriate signage is placed around the designated area, and once that is completed, agrees to allow the specified area beneath the County Road 18 bridge to use as a primitive campground. Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Seconded.
Mr. Hendricks first, Ms. Cobb the second.
What, I don't know how much the sign is gonna cost, where's that money coming from?
Mr. Couch said he had some signs that he was gonna provide.
They
So-
purchased signs.
It's just to ensure, and if the code sections that are there, nothing gives you absolute immunity from somebody filing a lawsuit. If somebody wants to file a lawsuit, they're file. And the question is, if we've done the proper things to ensure that we're protected. And one of the things in the code section says, if you have the boundary marked and they stay within that, then you're covered. So,
Ready to vote? Any other questions? All in favor saying aye? Motion carries. New business item E, whereas ACCA Legislative Committee consists of 67 members, granting each county equal voice on association legislative efforts, and where it is time for the county to select its representative for the 2022-2023 ACCA Legislative Committee, whereas the ACCA bylaws require a county to submit the name of its chosen representative only after the approval by the majority vote of the commission. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cleveland County Commission appoint commissioner to serve on the 2022-23 ACCA Legislative Committee. We have a motion in name of the person. Your
I would
motion,
like to name Roger Hill to do this.
okay? Do we have a second?
I'll say.
You good to serve?
I guess so.
You better do that. We all had to do it. We need.
Roger Hill. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. You say aye, Mr. Hill?
He abstained.
You abstained because
He was under consideration.
It'll be okay.
For the record, I think abstain is probably needed there. All right, moving on to, where we at? F, whereas having received notification that the state of Alabama Alcoholic Beverage Control Board of an alcoholic license being requested, and y'all see the big long confirmation number there, located at Williams Country Crossings, County Road 49, Heflin, Alabama. Whereas the application received from the board appears in order, therefore the Cleveland County Commission approves an alcoholic license for the said location. Do we have a motion?
I want a motion.
So,
All right. I think Mr. Hill got you there.
That's fine. The reason we're having to do this is because they only emailed today the information, and these people would have to wait another whole month, so that's the reason we sort of.
Where's this at? Who's store?
It's a, Hopewell.
The old Murray store?
No, the old, North Star.
Oh, really? They hooked it back up?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was open back up.
I ain't stopped, but they've been open for about
I didn't know that.
5 minutes.
All in favor saying aye? Motion carries. Whereas Cleveland County Commission is asked to approve a purchase order over $10,000, therefore Cleveland County Commission hereby approves the following request. Cleveland County Engineer Harvey Auto Sales F-450 pickup with bump dump body. Sorry. I'm trying to get out of here quick, y'all. $12,500. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll say.
Ms. Cobb, Mr. Hendricks.
But it has to be a long
Is
time.
this-
Y'all tell Lee what he's gotta get, okay?
So Lee's not here, so this is just the dump body to go on the.
No, it's a whole truck with a dump body, a 1-ton F-450 that he could use to patch holes to the coal mix, that's easier to get on.
Mhm. And it doesn't matter if it has a salvage title or anything like that.
Does it have a sales tax?
I don't know, I know a lot of times when you get them from the junkyard or the autos like
I
that.
don't even know who Harvey Auto Sales is.
I know we sent
Is
two
it not?
guys to check the truck and they drove it and it functioned and
I'm not sure.
so.
Him,
Yeah,
he being a county engineer, I mean, in that situation, nobody's gonna, unless there's a legal, of us being sued.
Yep. Without seeing that information, I wouldn't be able to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always, amend the motion that it's approved, pending proper ownership documentation being provided.
Would you amend that motion, Ms. Cobb, so that you wanna make sure that it's got a valid title, not a
Yes, we
salvage?
just want to make sure that it has a valid title to it.
Lee told me about it, he sent folks out there to check it out, so surely they made sure that, no tracking down the road or anything
Well,
like
if
that.
it's Harvey's, I'm sure it's legal, but it's just, my question is a salvage title, is he able to get his
We
money?
can take a salvage title, I don't think that's an issue.
You can't take it.
It's repaired, right? That's all that matters. Because we're gonna wear it down anyway.
Yeah. Are y'all comfortable? You ready to vote, or you wanna?
Yeah, it's fine, let's just vote on it.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Whereas the Cleveland County Commission is asked to approve all purchase over $10,000. Cleveland County Probate News Journal, the voter list publication, $13,600. This is by law, I have to get this out there.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll say.
Y'all, don't give me a hard time now.
I think you ought to go out there and stuff them in the
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And making a motion to appoint Ms. Keta Wilson to the DHR board.
Who's that?
Like-
Good.
Motion.
First name.
Raketa.
Yeah,
Who made the motion, I'm sorry?
I think Mr. Hill and
Mr.
then
Hill?
Ms. Collins
What?
Made the second. Okay, any discussion?
was his motion and you seconded.
Thank you. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Did we cover everything as far as vote wise? Okay.
And I do have somebody for the DHR board that they want to get a little more information, so I wanted to ask you some questions about it, so.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
get with you.
Marcia Busby would be a good one to ask, but
Yeah.
I'll
Carol
have
Skinner,
you. Huh?
Carol Skinner,
Okay, yeah.
she's a good one. But, just, she just like to get some information, what she would be required to do.
Okay. I think they need one supporter. Do you have anything, Ms. Cody?
Just a couple of things, and I'll be quick. I have spoken to Audrey Freeman, who is with Avenue, and she is willing to come to our next meeting. She said that what she recommends is you get a list of questions of what she can go ahead and prepare for, and that will help her come in with good information for you. Not to say that you can't ask any questions other than what's on your list, but if you come up with a list that she can kind of be prepared for in advance, she'll be glad to do that. So that's my update on her. Also, we, just this week, I have updated updated our submission for our second tranche of our ARPA money. That came out through the Secretary of Treasury's office. So I've updated that, that has been submitted. So we should get our second tranche sometime soon. They didn't give us a date, they did say it would be May, so that's been done. Also, I worked with Jason a little bit last month about updating our opioid settlement paperwork, and we got that turned in also. So, I don't know what your information is on that, but that's as far as I got with it.
I'll follow it.
Okay. That's it.
Lee's not here. By the way, I think I told you that we are being asked some questions about the spray. Randy Travis wanted to know if anybody wanted to do it. What is it, like a Skype interview, Zoom interview?
Randy Travis Fox, out of Atlanta.
Yeah,
He contacted me.
yeah. He said if any of y'all want to do that, then figure out if you want to.
I have one more thing, I will be out of town. The ACAA conference starts tomorrow morning. Actually, the ACAA part of it doesn't start till 1:30, but they have an IAC meeting for county administrators about the procurement of ARPA funds at 9:30 in the morning, so I'll be in Gulf Shores by 9:30 tomorrow morning. And then I won't be back until Monday, unless I come in the weekend or something.
Would you have your computer?
I have my laptop. I can remotely access my computer here, so I can record, email, and do just about anything. I'm taking my prayer with me just in case. But I should be able to just do pretty much what I do here. But I will be at conference all day Wednesday and Thursday. And it doesn't end until 5 Thursday, so I don't see the run back and make it here Friday. So.
They have printers, that you can connect.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
I have a small one, it's not too bad, it's one that's sort of used as a portable one. I figured I'd just take it with me, just to have when I need in my hand.
If we do anything.
Mr. Odom?
Following on the Orange Beach thing, I went down Friday morning to the City and County Government CLA seminar, which was Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. I appreciate y'all covering the course cost of that. I pay for my hotel myself, so that's not an issue. But it's good information, it's a good update each year on specific legal issues related to city and county government. With regard to the opioid settlements, yeah, they've announced, and it's big news that there are settlements out there. The problem is the one settlement that's already made it to the special master, the ENDO settlement. It's required that every governmental body that was part of that case, all 217 Alabama cities and counties that participated, and other boards, any type of government agency, they have to have 100% before they can disperse. And right now, the Mobile County Board of Education is holding up everything for everybody. So there's no timeline on when they'll sign off on it. But right now, and I've got an email from William Sutton with Beasley Allen that says Mobile County, Board of Health, I'm sorry, Mobile County Board of Health is holding out, so we just hope it gets cleared up soon. We don't know. The Kesson and J&J settlements are the next, and it'll probably be the same process. That's good to 100%. Now, once it all gets done, the allocation that the special master has done is a percentage based upon the number of persons suffering from disorders in the county, the number of overdose deaths that occurred in the county, and the number of opioids distributed within the county by morphine milligram equivalent that they use. They calculate all that, come up with a percentage basis, allocating the amount. The gross allocation from Endo is $10 million, and the portion to Cleveland County would be $27,211. And those are gross amounts now. That still has to come to take out some expenses and fees from that, but that's the gross amount that's possible. And of course, the other settlements that will roll out follow that same basic procedure.
I'm sure there's guidelines how we can spend that money.
Is it sign on agreement, so
Is that something that should be used at the jail for their medical expense?
I don't have that right here in front of me, but I think that's one of the areas that's possibly, if I remember correctly.
So once we get the money, we could just include that in next year's budget for the jail.
As long as it's properly allocated, I mean, here on this.
Well, deal? Any old business, guys? Any discussion items?
We got our convenience center open in Random. Anybody, they coming out with a new schedule, which I have not saw, but I think it's gonna be the third week of every month. So, get the word out of that if you know anybody.
Jean normally sends me the schedule, she shares it on Facebook, and then I share it with the commission. So I'll share all that.
Okay.
We'll find out.
327, 28, 6, That's the address.
Oh, okay.
Election is the 24th. I'm gonna be having a school on the 19th. ES&S will not hire, we can't hire a teacher, so I'll be teaching that class, bless their hearts. So, we got, some new equipment. I think I told you the express vote that we got through the Secretary of State. It is taking the place of the HABA equipment. It's a lot easier, but it's a lot, so it's not as heavy to move around, but it's a heck of a, I've spent the last 2 days programming that, working on that, so. And then I worry about teaching, how am I gonna teach that to these folks, but that's my job, so we'll do it. 19th here, most likely we'll have all returns is going back to the courthouse because it only got the big race is the sheriff's race. I can't. I'll just post everything there. There's, might have somebody announce and there's somebody else to announce.
Hey,
Yeah.
we need to get, Lisa or somebody to try to do some research on grant writer. Do we need a resolution for that, or just ask her to do it?
Oh, thank you.
I did ask Heather Kessler, I mean, he apologized, he said, I wish we could, but we can't overcommit to.
And I don't think you necessarily need to do a tasking, but she's got a perfect opportunity at the ACCA conference to ask her compatriots about that without tasking.
You might get in it, he's done it too, he can really. And it's kind of shy, but I think that's
We
what.
might have to pay for another night's motel.
Not take another week.
For him to have conversation.
All right, any other info? Thank you. All right, thank y'all for your patience this evening, and, I'll entertain a motion,
I think they got a lot done.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay.
And a second, all in favor, stand up.
Why are they not?